to then give you a 100% chance to have a free, powerful flash of light on someone. Eternal Glory is the existing talent, which gives you a chance not to use Holy Power in your heals. We threw in Light of Dawn here, since really now Word of Glory is the single target, Light of Dawn is the group target, and in this case, every Holy Paladin will have Light of Dawn. And then think of Holy Shield as a absorption version of Word of Glory. So not every Paladin will be able to have a shield, but if you want it, there's one right here. 75 is about utility. Veneration is a new idea where if you put down a consecration, your allies in the consecration are immune to movement impairing effects for a little bit of time. Acts of Sacrifice is the existing talent that lets you cleanse snares off of yourself and also reduces the cooldown in your hands a little bit. And then Clemency is a way to immediately finish the cooldown in your hands so that you can cast them again. Finally, level 90 is a really exciting tier that's about burst and cooldowns. A common complaint we get is cooldowns are cool, but Paladins have a little too many of them. So here we let you pick the way you want to do it. And I'll walk through these real quick. Holy Avenger, when you have Guardian of Ancient Kings out, your abilities don't cost Holy Power. Sanctified Wrath varies depending on your spec. For Holy, you can Holy Shock with no cooldown. For Prot, you can Judge with no cooldown. And for Ret, you can use Hammer of Wrath, as you can today. We also put Divine Purpose in here. It's a fun talent for some Ret Paladins, but others get frustrated by the RNG. Here's a way to get Holy Power that's not so tied to the cooldown. Sometimes you'll have more Holy Power than others. And the full Paladin tree. Everyone still here? We're getting there. We're in the home stretch. Stay with me. It's the Priest. Priest is a challenge because we have 2 healing specs and 1 damage spec, and we really wanted to make sure that the choices were there. We didn't want to just have, hey, here's 2 healing choices, and then here's the thing that Shadow chooses. So these are some pretty creative talents. Really excited about these. Level 15 is about control. We tried to let players recreate the existing builds they had, so if you just like Psychic Scream, take Psychic Scream and you're good. If you want to try something different, we have 2 new forms of crowd control in here. The Void Tendrils rise from the ground and can root all targets within an area. And the Siphene is kind of an interesting idea where a little Siphene comes out and will Psychic Scream repeatedly on different targets. Level 30 is a fun tier that adds kind of a little wrinkle to some of your existing abilities. Body and Soul, the existing holy talent that increases movement speed after someone's been shielded. Path of the Devout increases your movement speed when you levitate, which is basic, could be quite often. And then Phantasm, when you fade, you remove movement effects and give yourself a slight speed boost. Level 45 is about damage and healing. Again, we didn't want to just be, okay, Shadow always has to take this one, so we wanted to have choices in here. We have Surge of Light and Surge of Darkness, which is kind of the clear casting, and there's a different version for Shadow to make sure the damage still works. Divine Star fires a projectile out that does damage and healing, and then comes back and does damage and healing over the same path again. Never had a spell that works quite like this. Thought it'd be fun to try. And then Archangel. Evangelism is just a core ability now. Everyone will have it, so you don't have to worry about what that means. And then you can have the Archangel or the Dark Archangel to consume Evangelism or Shadow Orbs. Level 60 is about keeping the Priest alive. Anyone can have Desperate Prayer, just a big instant heal. Angelic Bulwark increases your shield when you shield yourself. And then Final Prayer is a passive where when you get hurt, without having to click an ability, you'll get a little bit of help. Level 75 is about power. Twist and Fate, it's a very powerful talent, totally passive. It increases damage and healing on targets that are wounded. Existing Power Infusion from Disc, now available to everyone. And we merged Serendipity and Mind Melt into one talent choice here that lets you reduce the mana cost and stack the ability, whether it's the heal for Serendipity or the Mind Spike for Shadow. 3 crazy new abilities at level 90. Vow of Unity, imagine that you designate a champion for a short period of time, and you can, when you heal that person, it heals you a little bit like a reverse beacon. Doesn't last the whole time, though. Void Shift's really crazy talent. Hopefully you can pull this off. It just swaps health percentage with your target. So that's all. No big deal. Very simple. Obviously, a lot of ramifications. If the the tank is at 50% and you're at 100%, you can swap that health and then quickly heal yourself up. I know, it's awesome. And then Vampiric Dominance is a greatly improved Vampiric Embrace. Shadow used to have this this cool vibe of the self-healer, of the kind of passive heal the rest of your group. We thought by making you choose one of these 3 abilities, we could offer it in a more powerful version. So hopefully we'll see some more Vampiric Priest out there. But again, Holier Disc could take this if they choose. And the Priest Tree. Rogues. Like the Mage, the Rogue really benefits from this new model because a lot of the cool stuff, which tended to be in subtlety, is now spread out. Should read these tooltips. These are pretty powerful talents all tied into stealth. You can move fast. Your stealth doesn't break for 3 seconds, which has a lot of ramifications if you're a rogue. And Shadow Focus, which is while you're stealth, your abilities are free. Obviously, you can't take both of those together or you would be broken. And that's kind of what we really like about the talent system. Level 30 is about control and survivability. This is the existing Deadly Throw with a nice movement speed debuff on it as well. The way Nerve Strike works is if you kidney shot or cheap shot someone, it also debuffs their damage for a short period of time. Obviously, the target has to be susceptible to kidney shot or cheap shot for that to work. And then this is the existing combat readiness where you can kind of build up resistance to someone who's trying to beat your face in with his Titan's grip. 45 is about staying alive. Cheat Death is up against a new type of poison. We tried to introduce a few types of rogue poisons. Leeching poison, as you beat on someone, it will heal you for a little bit of the damage dealt. And improved recuperate, which I think rogues are pretty familiar with. Level 60. Here's your Shadow Step as promised, but you'll have to choose it or Preparation. We went ahead and put the glyph part of Prep in here as well, so you get all of those abilities listed. Burst of Speed is exactly what it sounds like. It is a sprint on no cooldown that costs energy. Okay, level 75, we have Deadly Brew. Whenever you use Wound or Mind Numbing, you also get crippling on the target. Paralytic Poison will let you paralyze someone. You have to hit them a few times before you get enough stacks to actually paralyze them. And then Dirty Tricks lets you, your Gouge and Blind won't break from damage from poisons and bleeds. You can try to debuff someone a little bit, and then Gouge or Blind them, and they'll continue to take damage. And then, let's see what we did here. You can have any ability you want from any of the bottom of the talent trees as rogues. Shadow Dance is pretty much the existing Shadow Dance, but Killing Spree and Vendetta are fairly different, so let me talk about those. This new Killing Spree, the way it works is you can press the button multiple times, and every time gives you a teleport. We hope it's a little less disorienting than the current kind of bounce all over. You push it once, you blink, you push it another time, you'll go somewhere else. And you can do it as many times as you feel like it within the 5-second window. Vendetta, the real key here is that bottom part about Vengeful Strike. Once you have a Vendetta target, you can use your Vengeful Strike ability. This is the ability that comes with Vendetta. And you'll notice the big key there is that little bit about 30-yard range. Pretty nice for rogues who have problems with target switching or movement or just want to be a ranged class for a short period of time. There's the rogue. You're starting to get it now, and why we're so excited about this new talent model, why we think this is going to be a lot more fun to monkey around with your class and saying, I'm a little bored of my current talents, I'm going to mix it up a little bit. Shaman. So Frozen Power is the existing Frost Shock Roots. One of the nice things about this new talent model, too, is we can get rid of, currently we have a lot of these little junky bits at the beginning of Talents that say, oh, it also does this other thing because you probably don't have Frost Shock yet because it's a higher level spell. We can get rid of all of that and just kind of simplify and clean up the Talents. Earth Grab Totem I mentioned before. It's a big AE root totem. And Repulsion Totem, which keeps targets from getting close to you. Level 30 is about survivability. The existing Nature's Guardian, which increases your health when you get hurt. Stone Bulwark is a new totem that you drop down to put a shield on you. Remember, there's no buff totems anymore, so you can choose which Earth Totem you want to have out here. And then Astral Shift will actually, like, take you into another phase so that you take less damage while you're there. All right, let me explain Improved Ghost Wolf here. We went ahead and gave the instant Ghost Wolf to every shaman. And then flipped it around, so if you want the Freedom Wolf, you take the Talent along with the instant Wolf. Windwalk will grant all your group immunity to movement impairing effects while it's out. And then the Tranquil Mind Totem is kind of the same effect as Aura Mastery. In this case, rather than reducing pushback, it makes you immune to interruption and silence while it's up. Level 60 is a healing tier. We have a new Healing Tide Totem, which kind of imagine a little tranquility for the shaman. Ancestral Guidance has a chance of copying a heal to another target. Or when you deal damage or heal, you can get a heal on another target. And then Fortifying Waters offers a little bit of damage reduction for Healing Ring. Level 75 is about burst for the most part. The key part of Elemental Mastery, don't worry so much about the activating the next Lightning Bolt or whatever. It's pretty much a self-bloodlust in addition to the normal one you have. Or Heroism if you're Alliance. Nature Swiftness is the activated version to give you a fast spell. It has a little bit of passive haste as well. And then Echo the Elements, you can kind of imagine this as your own personal Dragon Wrath. It has a chance to clone a spell that does the same thing. Level 90 is what we call a high concept tier. These are all about doing crazy things to your totems. So, Elemental Harmony lets you have multiple totems of the same kind. So if you want 3 Earth totems out at the same time, take Elemental Harmony. Totemic Restoration, if you replace or destroy a totem, it eats into its cooldown. So say you drop one of your raid cooldown totems, then you see someone else puts down Power Red Barrier, you quickly pull that totem back up and drop another totem, and then your Bulwark totem or whatever will be available again pretty quickly. And then finally, Totemic Projection lets you move your totems, but the coolest thing about this is you're not just moving them to you, you can decide I'm going to take these totems and throw them over there and put them there instead. So I love this tier because it's 3 super powerful things, and they're all going to feel really exciting, and you can kind of decide which one you want and mix them up over time. Warlocks. You're going to see a lot of healing and a lot of survivability in here, because we really want to emphasize that as kind of pushing the Mage and Warlock a little farther apart in the design space. So, start right off with some different ways to get health. Dark Regeneration, just click to get some of your health back. It takes a little bit of time to build up here, so it's not just an instant burst of healing. Soul Leech just lets your Shadow Bolt, Incinerate, and Malefic Grasp, we're probably saying, what is that? Heal you. And then Harvest of Life drains life from the target and other targets in the area. Now, something I want to point out here is in the blue text, we have Empowered Channel. This is a cool thing we're trying with a lot of the Warlock channels, where if you cast the channel again before it's finished, it increases the duration. So rather than sitting there and channeling the whole time, you channel, 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 and now you have a nice long duration spell. It feels pretty cool. Okay, here are 3 different ways to control the bad guys. You can have an AE Fear or an AE Stun, or you can have Mortal Coil is a new design on Death Coil. It's not about doing damage, but it is about making them run away and healing yourself. .45 is about survivability. Hour of Twilight returns some health back when you get hurt. It's a passive, unlike the previous regeneration one. Soul Link shares damage with your pet while it's up with your demon, but the demon